Welcome to Fast Five, where our 4 panelists weigh in on 5 separate topics. Let's get started. Netflix investors excited over Disney acquisition rumor. Danielle, what say you?
I think that this is just a rumor for right now. I'm a little skeptical that this is the time that it will happen, and here's why. Netflix has a lot of growth to still do on its own internationally. I mean, we think of it as being, a huge conglomerate, but I don't think they're gonna want to sell out right now. What do you think?
Colin?
I think they're producing entirely too much good content to be taken over under the umbrella of Disney, which generally tends to squash the creativity out of anything to take over, personally at least.
Interesting. Ron?
I have Netflix. I enjoy Netflix, even with the price going to $9.99. But I think it would be a good purchase for Disney, or the Mouse Company, I think it may be called, that they do it. But I agree with Danielle. I don't think Netflix is ready to give it up. I think they still have a lot of internal growth before, and to make it far more valuable.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for organic growth, as you suggested, Danielle. And the other reality is, you look at all of the other competitors that have brought in similar products, and nobody has been able to catch up.
Yep.
We looked at Hulu, we looked at a number of these other competitors, Amazon Prime, we have that, and the interface is not as good, the content is not as robust. I think it would be a mistake, and I don't think at the end of the day, the shareholders are in it for the bucks. And
It wouldn't be a mistake from Disney's point of view.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
But as users of Netflix and enjoying the ad-free content and millions of options, it would not be a win for us.
All right, Yahoo secretly scanned customer emails for U.S. intelligence. Ron, what do you think?
Emails and intelligence. We always get back to emails and intelligence. It wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't be surprised if it's happened, whether it's for Homeland Security or whatever. The Patriot Act, I think, years ago gave us a lot of latitude to do a lot of things. And to keep the country safe, to keep us out of harm's way, there's got to be a specialized way that we can track down people. Where's a lot of products being bought that create problems with Homeland Security? You can go through a Yahoo account and Amazon or wherever to find things. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was done.
Colin?
So to add a little bit of nuance to this, most other countries out there that are very security conscious will track, although they will access the back door into the email systems as well, they track email in transit. As anybody who's in technology knows, most email in transit is unencrypted. It's going plain text, meaning that if you intercept it in transit, you're going to be able to decrypt it or read the email. I think that's where the boundary between personal freedoms and the right of a government to have security falls. When you're going into somebody's mailbox, you're actually invading their privacy. Whereas if you're catching something in transit, you're capturing something that is out in a public space. We have not come up with the ethics that should govern what personal property in the internet age is as yet. It's something we're still working through, but I think that is a
Will we ever come up with it?
Yes, of course. I give it 20 years and we will have a working set of rules that may adapt, but the technology will be old enough by that point that we'll be able to have some sort of agreement. At this point, we have no consensus.
Danielle?
Well, I think the biggest controversy around this one is that Yahoo secretly developed their own software, I think about a year ago, when the government came to them to talk to them about this. So along with that, when the FBI or N.S.A. does something like this, mandates it for a company, there's a gag order that goes along with it. So I am curious to know, number one, what other platforms maybe could have been involved, and number two, the software that was built was to scan for a certain set of characters, and I'm so curious to know what that could be.
That would be curious.
And I think that the pieces to contribute here, and I think they're important. We know Apple did not, and we know Microsoft did not, because both of them were involved in a series of cases. Google might be more of a gray area, but their system, their entire operating philosophy is different. Yahoo does not have the resources of Apple or Microsoft to fight the feds if they're really coming after them with a court order. And that should be
Absolutely.
taken into mind
Right.
as well.
Didn't Yahoo cooperate on some investigative work with the FBI, where Apple said no, but they came up with a third party that did break
Apple did
in to
not.
find out
The
about
feds
that
did.
in California?
The feds brought in an Israeli security company to crack into the iPhone.
So they had a third party.
Yeah, Apple did not.
Right,
did
that's what I
not-
said. They
right.
didn't help where Yahoo did on a case
So
they had.
if you can say Mossad, then that would help you understand who it was.
Okay, YouTube built fake Oval Offices to get us to like, subscribe, and vote. What do you think, Colin?
Well, it beats a mattress commercial with 9/11 in the background. So,
Yeah.
look, it's business. How many organizations out there, for whatever purpose, whether it's a history show, whether it's some other show, have built a copy of the Oval Office? I think that's to some degree kind of a non-starter.
Ron?
I agree with what Colin says. I mean, just look at Saturday Night Live. I mean, some of the things that they do with some of the scenes that they build.
I think it's so cool. And again, we talked about YouTube earlier. There's a set of people that make a living vlogging every day and doing this type of material. And I think it's just a really neat way to get the message out to the younger population.
All right. We now hear that Governor Christie and Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, cooperated in the cover-up of the lane closings, according to an ex-official. What do you think on that one, Danielle?
I actually, so this is the Bridgegate
Right,
scandal. I didn't get to look up too much on this, other than just exactly what you said. I really don't know much more than that. I have to be honest. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, that whole process was, Chris Christie knows everything that's going on everywhere. He's done a lot of good things in New Jersey. He has worked across party lines and got things accomplished. But to say when he was supposedly punishing a mayor of the town by the bridge problems, to say that he knew nothing about it, I can't believe for a moment that he wasn't fully aware of what they were doing, because I can't see his people becoming that involved and then that controversial of a project that would stop safety vehicles, fire vehicles from getting into the city in an expedited manner. Somebody gave the order, and I can't believe it. Chris Christie didn't know about it.
All right. Colin?
Well, I think to piggytail on what Ron is saying, certainly running a state like New Jersey, and I don't think anybody out there would accuse Chris Christie of incompetence. He's a very competent governor. Yes, and I think there's more evidence coming out. We really don't have all the evidence, so we really can't pass judgment. The other thing that I would comment about, I mean, this is New York City politics. Whether we're dealing with New York State that stretches far out of New York City, whether we're dealing with Jersey that stretches far south, the nexus of both of those states is New York City. And if there was cooperation between Andrew Cuomo and Chris Christie, I certainly would not be surprised.
All right. Okay, so that's it for Fast Five. Stay tuned, because next up, last call. We'll be back in 3.